To me, tell me if you agree with this, Charlie, I see their top need is clearly quarterback. They don't have an elite one on that roster. Wide receiver, corner, and linebacker. Corner/safety, linebacker. If I was the Redskins, those would be the top needs I'd try to approach the draft and free agency with. Although the free agency is pretty much behind us.
It is. There's nothing left there, really. You got to add outside linebacker to that. Second pass rusher.
Right.
Second pass rusher, right.
Right. Linebacker opposite Ryan Kerrigan.
That's right, okay? And so I do that. Definitely free safety.
Right.
And wide receiver, quarterback, absolutely. Kind of secondary needs, I say they need these all. They need an offensive guard and perhaps an inside linebacker, but I'm not sure they're going to get a better one than Hamilton, at least as a prospect, because they're not going to pick one early.
Right.
So.
And they're not gonna draft a guard early too, right? Because a lot of guys have been telling us via social media and through calls through the last few months that they want to, build the offensive line, worry about a quarterback later. Well, right now their current need is guard. I guess they got Flowers penciled in there. He's nothing to write home about. But they're not going to draft. I mean, Sheriff was a guard, but he was a tackle really. It didn't really work, and that's why they selected him that high.
That's correct. No, and there's not a guard to take in the first round.
Right.
Jonah Williams of Alabama. Some people feel he's a guard. I'd try him at tackle first. So guard is more of a second or third round pick in this year's draft anyway. So the same thing with inside linebacker from where they're picking. They'll face that. Safety is more of a second round pick. Really what they need is a bunch of seconds. But that's going to be hard to get.
Do you agree that if you were evaluating this thing that, if it worked out, the quarterback is your top need?
Yes, absolutely. It's a top need.
Yeah.
And then the question comes down to is of Daniel Jones or Drew Lock. Would you take one of them in the first round? That's really your whole decision, because if Haskins gets to you, that's a no-brainer. If he gets close, you should try to trade up to get him.
Right.
Murray he's an outlier anyway, so you can't figure he'll be there. If he is, you have to be prepared. But chances are he won't be there.
What about Rosen? Where do you stand on Rosen? Because all things being equal, that seems to make the most logical sense. Go get him.
Well, here's the answer to the question. I would not give up a first-round pick for him.
Okay.
And it's clear nobody else will. I'm not sure anybody will give up a second-round pick, but that's a whole ball game. It's hard to say, because really the Giants are the team that could say, all right, our first two picks are going to be for whatever need positions we want to have them, and then we get to the second round. All right, we'll discuss this. Now, Arizona's got to decide at what price do we give them up. And really, Arizona's decision is this. Do we want the guy in the building, or do we not want the guy in the building? If we want him in the building, then we're going to be hard on the deal. If we don't, hey, it's a fire sale. Let's get him out of here.
Right.
So that's the decision they have to make.
So let's say that the rumors regarding Haskins aren't true, that the Giants or somebody do snatch him up before the Redskins are there at 15. As you say, it comes to one block of the two. Which do you like more? Do you think they're worthy of the 15th selection?
Jones, yes. Lock, no.
Okay, why?
I think Jones, to me, when you watch the tape, has the best anticipation and vision of any quarterback in this draft, and from the pocket. Mm-hmm. So, and outside the pocket, he can do it too. But what I mean by anticipation is he can read the blitz. He can throw the ball to the receiver before he makes the break. Vision is being able to read the blitz also, but it's also being able to see the field, diagnose the coverage, and get the ball to the right man, spreading it around. He's the best at that. Now, he does not have a big arm, which is interesting, watching him live at the Senior Bowl. But in the game, for those who saw it live, the arm looked much better. And some guys are like that. Trent Green was like that. You watch him in practice, and say, my God, how can this guy throw the ball? You get him in a game, and he's a different level. And there are guys like that. Kurt Warner was like that, too.
Joined by Charley Casserly, former GM of the Redskins and Texas. Check out the 2019 Redskins draft special and Charley Casserly's draft special tonight and tomorrow on Sports. Outside of the quarterbacks, who is the dream player that the Redskins are hoping slips to them at 15? Like the guy that they really want, but they don't think is going to be there. Who would be that guy? Non-quarterback.
Well, Jonathan Allen type pick. If we take the pass rushers, Clemson's Clennon Farrell is a guy that he may be there now. He may be there. So you got a possibility with him as a guy there. You could Montez Sweat from Mississippi State. That's another one that isn't projected to be there. And he does have some issues. There's some teams that are concerned about what they call an athletic heart on him. Jonathan Allen slipped because of an injury. So maybe that's a name that could get there.
So give us okay, so let's say they decide that Jones, they don't want him. They don't go pass rusher. What other of the needs that we outlined, what other guys are worthy of that 15th pick? Let's say corner, secondary, some of those guys.
Well, that's the problem. Farrell of Clemson I would take in a heartbeat and wouldn't look back. But when you get to like a corner, the corners are all over the place. There's some people that like D.D. Williams of LSU first. Some people like Myron Murphy of Washington first, even Rocky Yassim of Temple. The point there is trade back. You should have multiple corners that you could take in the 20s. So that's one strategy you could take there. At safety, there's no safety to me to take. Taylor Rapp is the best safety, and you get him in the 20s. So you trade back there. That's a possibility. So those are some things. Now, the receiver thing is a mixed bag. You just got to decide what you like. See, DK Metcalf of Mississippi is a big-time speed guy.
Right.
Hands are above average. Routes need work. Then you've got his buddy A.J. Brown of Mississippi, probably the most complete receiver in this year's draft. Excellent run after the catch and acceleration out of breaks. More in the 4.5s than 4.4s, but, a good, solid player. Definitely, he's an upgrade there for him. And then Marquise Brown, to me, is a slot. That's the right word. He's T.Y. Hill. If not, he's a big upgrade over Jamison Crowder, and Crowder's darn good. So, and you could trade back for him a little bit, too. So trade back and take that. That's the kind of guys you're talking about. Hopefully you don't have to take them at 15, but if you do, there's a lot of names, but, any of them get you better.
If you had to guess, you want to give us a position or a player you think the Redskins will go with at 15?
Daniel Jones of Duke.
Daniel Jones.
I think he'll be there. It's
Convincing.
Wow.
No hesitation from Charley
Even though he
either.
has sort of like Jason was so put off by his crow hop at the combine, when he's throwing those deep balls.
Well, he's more of an anticipation guy to get it out deep. He's like Brad Johnson was here. Not necessarily a top arm, but top instincts and intelligence too. You take that. That's the hardest. That's what plays in the NFL.
Right.
The ability to see it and do it.